Hello, this is my first ever video tutorial, and it was requested by a friend of mine, Welsh Archer, on DeviantArt. She wanted to know how I did the finishing touches on my pieces, so I reluctantly agreed to do this, and I hope this is what she's looking for. If not, then I'll be back for another tutorial. But there's a couple things that I do to my graphics when I'm doing them that is a little different than what most people might do. Some people I know do some of the same things, like using lighting textures, but some people don't. So the first thing I'm going to do is show the lighting textures. And I actually learned how to do this from Raven Orlov on DeviantArt, and she's actually the one that I'm using her lighting textures this time. So if you see, I turned it on, and it's underneath some of my graphic because I wanted to add a little extra something to the bottom, but not necessarily as much to the top. And there's different ways you can do it, but this is just the way I happen to do it. So we're going to change the layer mode on this to screen. And then we're going to turn the opacity down to 39%. See how it just gives that extra little bit of depth and glow to the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to move on up all the way to the top. And I have another one. And we're going to change the layer mode on this to screen again. And then turn it all the way down to 25%. Just so we have that little bit extra on the top over here, as you can see. And then it does add a little bit more to the bottom. And then on top of that, we're going to add on another one because I really like these lighting textures. And we're going to put that one to soft light. And then we're going to leave it at 100%. Because I don't really, we can look at it, turning it down, it doesn't do too much. But I like, the little bit extra that it adds over here and then a little bit down here. So after you do that, you can turn on your coloring. I did my own coloring and I would show you how, but I did that through a video tutorial by EVV. So if you want to watch the video tutorial, just ask. I will give you the link because it's a really good tutorial and really easy. I thought I was doing something wrong with all my coloring, but I'm not. The only thing I'm going to show you is that this coloring right here is just a little too dark for me. So I'm going to add 2 gradient maps on top. Now, I've already saved them. So I'm going to use 2 light. It's like a light gray and a light blue. And I reversed it so I don't know how well you can see the outline of her face right here. So I'm going to put that one to screen. And now you can barely see like anything. But if you turn it down, I'm going to turn it down to 10. It just brightens it up just a hair. But it'll get a little brighter as we go along. So then I'm going to add another gradient map on top of that because I am slightly obsessed with gradient maps. So this time it's going to be a little bit darker. I don't know if I want to reverse it or not. Let's try it reversed and we'll put it to soft light. See how much better that looks? That just looks so much better to me. I might be crazy, but it looks a lot better to me. So now we're going to do something that I'm not sure how many people do. Okay, so you can see over here in my color pickers that I have a light gray and then a dark gray. Not too dark, but kind of dark. And what we're going to do is render clouds. So you go under your filters up here, you go to render, and then clouds. Doesn't look like much, and you can repeat it a couple times. It doesn't have to be just once, you can just do it again. And there's also, if you hit Control F, it'll automatically do it again. So just do it till you find something you like. And then we're going to set that to soft light. And we're going to turn it down to 70. Okay. So that to me, it adds a little bit more depth to my picture. I don't even know why I started doing this, but I just did. One day it was just like, oh, I'm going to do this. So what we're going to do now is duplicate that. And you can actually flip it if you want to. I'm going to flip it horizontal. And instead of soft light, we're going to hit this one up to screen in the layer mode. Now, that's a little too bright, so I'm going to turn it down to about 30. See how nice and bright it is? I like that. I don't know why. It's just something I like. So then we're going to duplicate the soft light layer down here underneath. We're going to pull all the way to the top. And I'm going to, I guess I should showed you how to do this. If you don't know how, edit and do free transform. And then you left click with your mouse. And I'm going to flip horizontal, left click, flip vertical, so you have some nice variations. You can make a new layer each time. I just don't like to. I'm too lazy. I'm going to 61. So this is how it's pretty much going to look at the end. You can zoom in. I think I'm going to fix, I don't know, I kind of like it. So, and okay, so that's basically what I do. And then for my final step, when I'm ready to save it, I put everything in a layer, or in a group, I'm sorry, not a layer. And then I drag it down here to duplicate it. And then I want to merge it. And then I'm going to duplicate that again. And we'll turn the top one off for now. So make sure you have the one that's visible selected. And we're going to go to Filter, Other, High Pass. And I use it just at 1 pixels. You could, you know, experiment, do it higher. I'm a creature of habit, so. And you can't really see anything. It's like not even barely visible. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn that to soft light. Okay. So it just gives it a little bit of sharpness. So then you're going to turn the top one up here back on. And we're going to turn the opacity down to 50. And we're going to go to Filter, Sharpen, Smart Sharpen. You could use any sharpen. I just happen to use Smart Sharpen. I don't know why I like it so much. But your amount at 160 and your radius is at 0.3 pixels. And you're removing the Gaussian Blur. That's how I have my settings. I leave them that way all the time. So then you do that, and you can just see it sharpens it just a little. I know that there's a lot of people out there that they like to have really sharp graphics, and I like it, but then on the other hand, I don't. So from here, I select all my layers, and I drag it down to duplicate. and then I merge it, and then I duplicate that one again. So you should have 4 layers up here. And this one we're going to turn off. That's our final layer. Now this one, this is where the whole kind of dreamy look comes in. I go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. I love Gaussian Blur. I have it at 1.7 pixels. You see how it's all blurry and you can't really see anything? Well, I'm going to turn that down, the opacity down to 70. That way you can still see underneath, but it's still kind of blurry. So then our very top layer, we're going to turn it back on. We're going to drag the opacity all the way down to 40. See? So if we put all these together in a group, I'll show you the difference. See how it's just that little bit of blur in it? Up here on our face is really easy to see. So it's just a little bit of blur going on that just gives it that much more depth to it. So that's how I normally do my graphics. On the other hand, I have a pick spam up. This is one of my favorite things to do. I actually have my slices on, which we can turn off. And I see I made a mistake somewhere, so I have to fix that. So I just go zoom in so I make sure I don't make a mistake. Okay, now that we got that fixed, and now look, I can see over here. Alright. I guess I made all kinds of mistakes. I should have checked this before I started, but I didn't. My bad. Because then I can actually... Okay. Now that I fix that, we'll discard this layer down here. Okay. So as you can see, I got my coloring on up here. And make sure that when you do each layer, you sharpen it. It doesn't matter what sharpen you use. You can use Smart Sharpen. You can use regular Sharpen. There's, sharpen edges, sharpen more, unsharpen mask. Use whatever you want to use. It doesn't really matter. I'm just a big fan of Smart Sharpen. So we're going to select all of these and put it in a group, and then we'll duplicate that group, and then I keep wanting to use shortcuts and then I forget that you guys can't see the shortcut, so I'm going to merge that and duplicate it again. So we're going to do something similar. So you want to use Gaussian Blur on this one again, or whatever. You see there's like a ton of different blurs you can use. I just happen to really like the Gaussian Blur. So then you can turn down. I like to do it at 70. That way it's kind of a lot. Okay. And the nice thing about doing the pick spams is because you've already sharpened it, you don't have to go through all the sharpening process. It's just like, oh, it's already done. So then we'll turn this down. Let's try 37. I kind of like that. Okay. See? And you have that same kind of dreamy looking for your pick span. It's a pretty easy technique, I have to say. It's not all that hard to do. So, you know, you can use it for anything, Tumblr, any kind of stuff. My only suggestion is play with it. Don't just do exactly like I did. Just experiment and try and see what you like to do. You know, how do you like it to look? Do you not like it that blurry or that light? You know, play with your opacity. Play with the layer modes and go from there. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching my tutorial. I hope it was helpful and not confusing and very easy to follow. If you have any questions or you want links to any other tutorials or anything, just ask and I will be willing to give them. Alright, I'm going to call it done now.